Hello friends, welcome to my channel, a channel for learning simple coding. If you find this video to be helpful, please like, share and subscribe my channel. In last video we have seen how we can log in with email and password on Firebase in React Native with Typescript. In this video we are going to learn how we can use Gmail account for authentication purpose in React Native with Typescript. For that again we need Firebase authentication mechanism by Gmail login. So for implementing that, first of all I need to create one more button. So I make copy paste of this touchable opacity and I create a button here. For that I say here Gmail, save this. We have such kind of thing, so I remove this and I say Gmail container and I say here in place of register Gmail style. This style is already created by me to make it more readable button. So I save this and you will see that Gmail button is there. So whenever I will click on this, so I will call a function. The function is called Gmail login. This function I will call. So I need to create this function. So I create this function here. On the top of this I say const Gmail login and I need to do this function. This function I have. Now I click on this button, this function will call and it will try to log into the Gmail. For that I need to install a library and we have to make some configuration. So I need to go to this website rnfirebase.io and here we have authentication with Google ID. So we have this Google sign in library. So whenever you click on this, you will go to this page and here you need to install the library. So this is the library that we have to install. So copy this and paste here, copy paste, and in place of yarn, if you are using Android, so just change this to npm and install and like this and press enter. I have already installed this, so you just do yourself. I have already installed this library, so you can install like this way. After installation of this library, we have to start the application once again. So I start this application. After installation of the Google sign-in library, this application will run again and then we will do some coding also. For doing that, what we have to do, we have to go to the same website here. I remember that they are asking that we have to use this Google signin.configure function we have to use and we have to call this function and we have to use this coding. So I do this first. So I copy this library which is required and I do here copy paste. I am importing this library. Then again I go to the code and this is the code that I required. So I copy paste this and I paste this code in a login. Remember Google login, here I paste this and we have this is going to be execute now. So because I'm using here await, so I need here async keyword for promises purpose. So async await we are using here. So a program is also executed once again. I save this and you see that we have this. So I remove these things, no need of this comment for just they are increasing the length of the code. So I just do it simple, save this. So you see that we are getting this ID configuration token ID and we will pass this token ID here. Just only of this type of code is there. Then because it's a promises type and here we are using await, here we are using await. So I will do some error checking and confirmation also. But for that I need to use this, I need to call this function also, this Google signin.configure. For that I need a use effect because in the beginning of the application I need this. So I say use effect and under this use effect I need to pass two parameter. One is arrow function and second is the condition. So in this arrow function I use Google signin.configure. This function I need to call and I save this. Remember that this function will call and it will configure the request and we will do this. So now this everything is okay, but it will give some error. So what is the error that we are going to display? So I need to display error. For that I need to go to the math function where I am calling this, and here I say then, because I need to confirm that if there is a login, then we will have a user. If user is successfully logged in, then I do this, and under this what I do, I display toast, and I say here that user dot, we have a user information. So I can give here Gmail, remember, and here I can use Gmail. Anything we can give any name, but just for purpose I'm giving here. Then username is there, then I do some string manipulation, concatenation for displaying this information. Then I say long information and I save this. So you see that we have to give show function here. So you see that we have passed here, if there is successfully login, then it will display username here, the username, whatever the user information is there. Or we can display the image also, we can pass some, anything which we can pass, but here I'm using this much, you see. So we log in here, written here successfully login, authentication, and if we have this, so we will have a return type as a user information, Gmail user, and this Gmail user information will come here. And but if there is an error, so I can give error also, and I take here error, and this error we can display. So again I say toast here and I display here, and remember that I take this like that way also, like this way also, I save this. So this way I do here error checking, error, and I can display this error on a console also. So I say console dot log and I say error like this, save this. So we can display error on console also, or we can display this also. And one more thing we can do, we can display this login ID. Remember that this login, this ID, token ID would not become by some problem is there. So I display here console.log and I say ID token. So this I am displaying here that it is null. I will show you. Now everything is okay. We are calling this, and before this one more thing we have to do, we have to go to the Firebase, and in the Firebase in your application go to authentication. Here you enable your authentication sign in method and enable this Gmail Google login. If it is not enabled, go to there here and enable this. I have already enabled, so you can modify, go there, enable it, and remember that put this one, and we need this web client also. This web client we need to configure. So how we will configure this, that we are going to learn. So now software is ready, everything is ready. We try to execute it and we see that there are some error. How we can solve this error? So for that, if I click here, and you will see that it will display the login for Gmail login like this. It's saying error. Why? Because ID token, this ID token is not available. You see, we have a null value here and log, because this ID is not returning. This ID token is required for authentication purpose with the Gmail. How we'll get this ID? We will get this ID by providing a SHA key to this project. Means we have to open this project here. This project is linked here, and you see this key is not a valid key right now. So I need to pass here the key of this application which is I am creating. This key, SHA key, I have to pass. For that, what I have to do, I just close this application right now. I go to Android directory, and here I say the command that dot, I say gradle w, and here I say signing report, enter. So this command will give me the SHA1 key of my application, and I will assign this key and I will connect this. You see what I do, I explain you. So we have this SHA key. So you see debug dot this, we have these key, debug.test, you see everything we have. So release command we have, debug we have. So you see this first key we have debug.key. So this SHA key I need to copy, remember. So I copy this, remember this debug we have, we can copy this, and here I need to add this, here. So I pass here and I save this. So this key will be added here. So you see there are some error is there, that this auth key is already available. This type of error may become. So we try to check one more key here. We have another key also. So what I do, I take one more key SHA, because they are release version also. So I take this key also. All will waste, no key will run, but I'm going to show you that how you can solve this problem. Again I do this and I provide this key here and I say save. You see this key is working properly, means this key is available in my project and I have added this key here. Then download this Google service.json file, because it have some updation. So after that, remember that what I am doing, because still it will give some error. So we have to open this and I need to go to the app directory. So I go to the Android. Under this I have app directory. Under this app directory I open in browser, and here under this app directory I need to copy this google.json. I am going to replace the existing file. So after this replacing, and you see I open this Google service file. In this file we have web client information. This is the client ID. This client ID I need to copy. Here we have a client underscore type 3. Remember that this client ID we have to copy from Google service.json file. After this we have this configuration, remember here, and if we want to make linking between the Firebase and the application, what I do, I need to pass this web client ID to this configuration function. So for that I need to create an object here, and I create here web client, and under this web client I need to pass this ID. Remember that this ID is unique for each and every application and it depends on the SHA key of your project. So after getting this web client ID, I try to execute this application once again. So I open this and I need to run this application once again. So once again I just remove it from here and I dismiss the application, no need of this, and once again I execute the application with the major changes which we have done. You see that this program is running now. Once again I click on Gmail once again and it will show the login. You see developer error is coming. The problem is here, the developer error, you see, and everything is okay, no problem at all. I'm calling this function. This function we have this, we are showing the dialog box, this one, play services, but what we have a developer error problem. You see everything is okay, but there is a developer error problem. And if I see in the console window, and you see developer error problem is coming. So we have to solve this developer underscore error. This error comes why? Because I close this application right now, because this file debug. Remember this file is there in app directory debug.keystore. So this debug.keystore file is available in this project. This key from this debug.keystore file we need to enter into the SHA key, not all other. To get this file we have one command. You see I have this command to fetch the key from this. Remember the rule, this I copy this, then I go to the Android folder, cd Android, then cd app directory. Here I need to paste this command. I will write this command in the description of this video. Just you try to execute it and you will see that this is showing that this SHA key I have to insert. Remember this SHA key I have to insert. I have to insert the SHA key from the debug.keystore file. So once again I go to this Firebase here and I remove this. This is not required. I need to enter the SHA key from the debug.keystore file. So I click here and I enter here, and you will see it will show error that auth problem, because this is already executed and this is not a new one. So now problem is I have to create a new debug.keystore file for getting this SHA key. So that is not possible right now. So what I do now, I have to you see, delete this file. So I delete this debug.keystore file because this file is not the unique, not generating a unique key for me. I have to generate a unique key. For generating a unique key from this file, I have this command. So I have to generate a key right now, and I have to create a file debug. Remember that I have to create a file also, that is debug.sha in the same directory. So I say cls and I paste this. So this command will generate debug.keystore new file with a new SHA key. So I will paste this command also in the description. So it asking some information. I say Dr. Vipin Kumar, then you say organization unit, I say ENG, it's an organization, I say Vipin Soft, anything we can say, nothing is required. So I say city, I say Delhi, again I say Delhi, then I say India, IN, it's a information is right, I say yes. So it will generate a key, remember. So one new command, new debug.keystore file is generated here. Now once again I need to get the key from this file. So once again I have to run the previous command to display the SHA key from this file. So once again I have a SHA, you see this SHA is new one. So I get from my new debug file, remember. Now this key I have to insert here. So I cancel this, I add once again, and here I add a new SHA. This will be entered here, remember, no problem at all because it's a new one. Again I have to download this Google because I have dated the key, and after this I need to cut it from the download folder. Then I go to my project, remember, go to this app directory, and here I have google service.json. Here I have to replace the, close it. Now open this Google service file. Remember that we need to copy this client ID. So this client ID we need to copy once again. It may be same or it may be changed, but we need to copy this, and we have to replace this ID with this one. Once again we have to replace this, save this, paste this. Now you will see that developer error will remove and we would be able to log in. But for that we have to get out from this directory and we have to run this application once again. We have to run this. You see that now this application is running successfully after doing this. Now click on Gmail and you will see that it will display the dialog box like this, and I click on a mail ID. I have already registered this mail ID in this emulator. I click here and you see it would not display any developer underscore error. Now we have to go into the login. You see this screen is coming, the login information is coming, and here we are not getting any information that we will deal also. So here I can say user sign in. So I remove this one, no problem at all, and here I say user sign in, user signed in, no problem at all. Save this and I log out it. Once again I click on login and you see, because we have already logged in with this ID, so it log in right now without any problem. Log out and log in, you see, sign in, user sign in. So we log in with this, and if we want to pass some username and password, suppose if we want to pass a user profile image also with Gmail, so one thing we can do here, that In place of reading this ID, we can have here user info, and here I can pass user info. I will show you, there are so many information that is available, and here in place of ID I say user info dot ID token. Save this. Same is there, but here we are getting lot more value, and I show you these information here, you see. So I run once again this, you see, and this application will restart. I will click on Gmail. After login, you will see that it will show so much of information. This is the token ID. We have the profile user, the name, then this is an image, photo, profile photo. You can copy this profile photo from this, and this file you can copy this one from here to this one, and you can pass in state variable, and you can use this photo also for your showing purpose here as a authentication. We have username, so many informations are available here, so all information you may get this, and we try to get this information here also if it possible. Here in like that we have here. So suppose I take here Gmail user info like this. If I have here, so I try to use here, I say user info dot here I have only user, and then we have a display name. You see information is coming, email ID, token ID, phone number, photo URL. So I can display this photo URL also, you see, and I say here plus, and I make concatenation. So I try to display here photo URL. So this information you may have here. So I click here, and you will see that this is a URL. This URL is coming here, photo URL. So like this way we may have the full information of a user who log in here also, and we may have information here also as a user information. But better to have here the ID token like this way, better to have this one only. So we may have this. Now I can remove this from the console, no need of this one extra information. So after that we may have the information as a, after a successful login, we will have the information as a user information here as a return value. I log out this, once again I log in this, and you will see that we will have the URL of photo URL of this image. We may have username, we may have email ID, whatever we want to display, we can display anything here. So this way we can achieve the successful authentication login with Gmail ID in React Native with Typescript. And remember that we also resolve the developer error in this application. Developer error comes when this SHA key does not match with your application. So once again we have to generate a debug.keystore file as I explained by using keytool command, and then we have to register here. We have to download this file. Once again we have to pass the client ID, and then we would be able to log in successfully. I have explained you how to log in with Gmail. It is the latest one. If you understand it, if you like this video, please do subscribe. Thank you for watching this video.